Hello everybody, welcome back to American Truck Simulator once again. Today we're in San Diego. We're about to pick up here at 3M, and we're going to be heading, I believe, to Yuma. I could be wrong about that, but anywho, I have JBX Graphics Mod installed. I bought it. If you want to get it, I'll link it in the description below, and we'll talk a little bit more about it as we roll down the road. But let's go ahead and turn in here and pick up. And a very happy Saturday to all of you. I hope you guys are doing well and you're having a great weekend so far. We're picking up right here on the left, and I believe it's paper material we're taking up to Yuma, or over to Yuma, I think. Could be wrong about that. You'll see I have added something new to my setup, and that is the iPad Pro 11. I wanted to get an iPad anyway. It's for like flight simulation and doing my charts and all that stuff, but this just makes it a lot easier. And this is a free app that's a route advisor, as you can see here, by Mike Cook. He made it. It works for ATS and ETS too. Very cool. And you have North Up, that as well, and you can change and see what your current job is and all that stuff, which we don't have yet, but you'll see that in a minute. And also you see your truck and trailer condition, things like that. Really neat to have handy right here. We're gonna go ahead and pull in here. We're gonna talk to them and say, hey, where are we picking up? Which dock you want us in? And we're not going to Yuma. It looks like we're going to Nogales instead. So we are going to take paper, 32,809 pounds of it over there. So we'll take that job. Okay, cargo is ready to be loaded in that spot right over there. Currently, Icons is not working with the current version of the sim. So that's what's going on with that. That's why we have those once again, which is not a big, huge deal or anything like that. Using Z-Mod's Awesome Cat C16 in John Rudis Pete 389 glider. And a big thanks to Thrustmaster for sponsoring the hand cam here. Use a TS PC Racer by Thrustmaster TLCM pedals and a TH8A shifter. Now everything else is here is ATSaccessories.com. I look around freely with Track IR. That's a IR tracker, a head tracker. Pretty darn cool. A little camera up on top of the monitor there, and it tracks your head movements so you don't have to use your mouse. It's wonderful, let me tell you. That's the most, that's the number one question I get, is how I freely move my head around when I'm doing these videos, and that is done by that. All right, and you can see that map. You can zoom in on it. It's really cool. I love having that map. It's so nice. That wasn't the greatest setup because I was talking. That happens to us. It's all right. Let's go ahead and back this thing in now. It wasn't like terrible by any means. There, we could have probably straightened out a little bit better there. Wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. That happens whenever I'm like looking at stuff. I'm not setting up my backs correctly. There we go, looking good, but just a neat app, and it's free. I'll have everything linked, of course, in the description, and I'm gonna say that about 5 times. I'll have everything linked in the description because I get asked a lot of questions and no one reads the description, and all that information could be given to you right there if you just look in that description just a little bit, just a tiny tad. There we go. Sweet. I think this is the default SES trailer that I owned that we're using today. All right, that's cool right there. Kill the hazard lights. Don't need those on. We're gonna go ahead and shut the engine off, and we're gonna load up. Cargo's been loaded. Follow the route to the target company. You listen to the beautiful sound of the Cat C16 firing up. And just like that, we're ready to get down the road. Let's rock and roll. Another thing about the route advisor, now there's different skins for this particular app, and you can have the tachometer, some other cool things, dashes and stuff, so I could set it up in front of me if I wanted to. Really neat to have that. But I use the route advisor, which is nice. You can just kind of like do this. You want to see what's around you, especially if you're trying to find a gas station or something. It's really handy to have. But apart from that, it doesn't show you the line for the GPS, which is sad. So you still have to have that in your truck if you're using that, if you're wondering. That's what we're doing. Man, it's tight getting out of here, isn't it? It always is. This particular prefab is a little rough sometimes. You're making a right turn out of here. We're gonna have to like go to the left and then to the right because it's gonna be
turn right.
Limited space. Make sure we don't hit our tires on that. There we go. Nobody there on the left. We're actually clear on the right. This is actually working out in our favor. All right, cool. And you'll see our little guy is turning here, but if I hit this button, you'll see it moving as it should. All right, they're giving us plenty of room to get out. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Thank you. We made it, no problem. That was really nice of them to do that. Did not think they were going to, but they did. Sweet.
Go straight.
Yeah, we'll go straight. So, JBX Graphics, man. Amazing modification. I'm liking it so far. I like the skyboxes and things like that. It is $30.50. It's pretty pricey. And if you get into the gold edition, it can go up to like almost $100. It's kind of crazy. I would really like to see JBX having their own store. The buying process and then also the distribution, that was ridiculous, dude, is not the best at all. I'm gonna roll our windows up here. I'm just gonna crack them. Get that awesome rushing wind sound that Zmods has. It's a freeware sound, is the winds that you'll hear come through the sides. Yeah, so it's a forum, and then once you pay him, you have to wait like up to 8 hours. It took forever. And then I didn't even get the email. I just had to go back on the forum and I had a private message and it had the installation process in there and the download, which is basically linked. You get permission to go to their Google Drive and download. Now the nice thing is when you get the download, it is numbered out for the load order in your mod list. That's cool. I love seeing that. I wish more people would do that. But yeah, it's pricey, but I gotta say so far, so good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now I am using the NVIDIA overlay as well, and that's just to help me crush the blacks a little bit more for shadowing. And then also I turned the saturation just down a tinge, so it has that realistic look to it. But I mean, the skybox and seeing some other things that it does. Apparently it does some things to the weather too, and I have not seen that. So excited to see what it has to offer. I know a lot of people have been praising it for a long time. So I was like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do it so you can see what it's like and tell me what you think about it in the comments below. We're gonna sit here at the light, no big deal. This is gonna be a longer video because we are getting out of downtown San Diego and that takes a little while sometimes, you know? Let's just skip into 4th gear here. And I think this is the 5 up here. We should be getting on the highway. Yep, I believe so. I'm just gonna stay in 4 low for now. 4 loco. Cross the bridge, get on the highway. Hey, what's up, UPS?
Yards, turn left.
Yep, we'll turn left. You got it. All right.
Turn left.
Yeah, but you'll see the time is incorrect, and then the gear is incorrect. The speed is not, though. It seems to be correct, from what I can tell. Oh, we're on the 8. I forget about this section of San Diego. You get on Interstate 8, and then you're gonna find yourself on the, well, I think we get on 10 or something, don't we? Oop, getting to 6 there, buddy. I guess we stay in this lane for a second here, just to merge. Getting on the highway, buddy. Thank you, appreciate it. There's the wind rushing in. Haha, I love it. But yeah, look at those clouds. The graphics look good, man. They look real good. I use 400 scaling. That's how you get that real sharp crispness to everything, if you're wondering. That is how I do it. It's got a great Jake brake in this thing, too. The Cat C16. I'll leave a little bit of wind on the right side, and I'll just keep this one cracked a little bit more there. All right, got Martin getting on the highway. I'm gonna get over for him if I can. Is there a car there? I thought I heard somebody there. Nope, he'll be fine.
Left.
We are good. on the way station. We don't have to stop. Oh, dude, come on. Don't do that. That was a real dumb bonehead move. I guess he didn't have to stop either. All right, we're getting around him, though. He's going to be slow. He's going to be slow. But yeah, if I click here, paper, 32,809 pounds. We're going to UPS in Nogales, and then we got the destination expected time and the job income you're getting and what remains in the in-game time and all that stuff. Very cool. I love it. Love having that right at my fingertips. You know, ever so slightly. I know I get a lot of people asking all the time, how much does your setup cost? It's expensive. It's all like very expensive, the whole shebang. But I get it one piece at a time, you know? You don't have to buy all this at one lump sum. Just slowly build your setup, you know? And get things that you want to use. Now, I got that for flight simulation over American Truck Sim, but I was like, there has to be some apps out there. And I looked it up and there was. There's also a great tutorial video out there. I'm going to link to their YouTube channel that he did a really good job of explaining how to install it. So if you are interested in that, I'll have that linked and also that video that I watched to install it. So I don't have to make a video on it. We just send you to a different person that did a really good job. We are in California. You gotta slow down to 55. You know how it goes. Just drop up into 8 high here. And this is beautiful with JBX Graphics, I gotta say. This is looking pretty darn sharp. And I wanted to come back to California. Haven't been down here in a while. This particular run to the east out of San Diego I haven't done in a while, so I want to see what this looks like with JBX. Because you already know it's gonna look great in the new states that were released. You already know that, so let's look at some older stuff, you know? Which the new open beta has some more California rework done. Now, I'm not in the beta because I did not want to break any mods or anything like that. The icons doesn't work, but that's the reason why I haven't done a video on the beta yet. I usually am late to the betas because of that reason. I don't want to deal with, you know, not having my sim work whenever I want to make a video or something with the mods that I currently have, you know. I'm gonna just keep it right around 55. We can always hit the cruise. You can see the light come on there when we hit the cruise control. I'm gonna drop it off a little bit more to 55. Oh, 70. Nope, 55 for us. Just kidding. We're still on Interstate 8, and there's 55 right there. So we'll set that and forget it, like Ron's rotisserie chicken. Well, in NASCAR news, they're going to be at Talladega this weekend. I will be watching the race. Excited for it. Should be awesome. Yeah, this looks realistic, man. This looks really nice. The skyboxes are awesome. And I know the Xfinity race is going on right now, so I'll probably watch that after I get done here. We're outside of El Centro. And you can just pinch this and look. El Centro right there. You'll know where you're at. You can even hit the zoom outs if you'd like. And you'll see we're right on the edge of Mexico here on the border. But having this is so nice. You can just click that once again, and again, like just click it once and it'll recenter it, which is cool. If you were wondering. All right, I'm gonna get a screenshot and then I'll be right back after this bridge. And we are back. Awesome. Hope you guys weren't working too hard this week. I saw, what was it, it was on Twitter the other day. There was a viral post going around about somebody's employer that said like really mean things about, or did some like drastic stuff because they didn't put in their notice. And I kind of wanted to talk about that because it's interesting how a lot of employers seem to think that they own you. And it got me to thinking, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I've told the story of a job I had, the only job I ever walked off on. Now, I was a firm believer in never burning bridges with any employer I ever had. But this one job, well, that was a different story. Take you back to, oh man, maybe 2003, 2002, right around there. And I was living in Pacific, Missouri, and I got a job at a place that was called, I think it was Global Automotive or something like that. I can't remember the actual name of it. But they made like car parts, gaskets to be in particular. Now, when I went in to interview for the job, they were like, okay, do you have experience with this and this and this? And I was like, yeah, I've actually operated some machines and things like that. They're like, okay, we want to put you on a press. And I was like, okay, I can learn the press and then I'll run that. Not a big deal, right? They're like, it starts at $8 an hour. And, you know, being young at the time, I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds amazing. So started the job there, went in there, and I noticed really quickly that there was no available press to work on. Now, they trained me the day before on the press, so I learned about it. They came in the next day. I was like going over to the work on the press, and there was a person there, and they're like, I've been here for like whatever years, and I was like, all right. So I guess I'm not on this press. So I went to go talk, and they're like, oh no, we're gonna put you in into this line today. Just boxing stuff on the dip line, they called it. It was like a latex dip that these gaskets, these automotive gaskets would go through. And I was like, all right, I'll just write it out for one day, right? No, that became the job. That became the job. Now, it was a terrible job. And the lady that ran it, she was always just covered. The thing is, they always knew you were in the dip line because you were just covered head to toe in this latex material all over your clothes. You never wore any decent clothes ever. Don't wear your work clothes, obviously. But this machine would get clogged up from that stuff, and she'd start like banging it on the side and be like, "Don't fail me now! Don't fail me now!" Like, wow, you know. And there's a guy that worked on the machine as well. Now, they had a separate machine next to it. It was a smaller version of the same latex material that would, you know, go on these gaskets. And it smelled like absolute death. All of it smelled like death. And they trained me on the small one. And I was like, all right, well, before then, I was at the end of the other line and boxing the gasket. They'd come down piping hot out of the machine, and then you just stack them into the boxes, and then they would go off on their merry way to, you know, get installed on a car someday. And so I was there for 1 week, and then we got paid on that Friday. And that Friday, I opened it. Actually, before that happened, that Friday, I told that guy, it's like, how do you work this? Like, this is the most miserable job I've ever had in my life. He's like, yeah, it's not easy. And I was like, all right, well, okay, I think we're at 75 now. I think I might be going too slow. I was like, yeah, well, yeah, we're at 75 now. So one day I may not be there at the bottom boxing those things. I'm just probably gonna just, you know, be gone and never come back. And he's like, I wish I could do that, man. That'd be nice one day, right? Let's kill our cruise control. We don't need that on anymore. And that Friday we got paid. I opened my check. I was being paid $6 an hour. So a couple dollars under what they said they were gonna pay me in the beginning. And man, oh man, that was a blow. So I literally set the machine up. I ran like, I think it was like 1,000 gaskets or whatever it was to go into this dip machine and go to the end. Started it up, clocked out, and I went home, and I never went back ever again. So that all those gaskets went through the machine and just fell on the floor, and they had to pick them up. That was my way of saying bye. And then it was great because like 4 or 5 years later down the road, I ran into that guy that was down there that was boxing those with me at a local bar there. He's like, man, he's like, you did it. You actually said one day you wouldn't be there. He goes, and we came back and everybody's like, where'd Jeff go? And they're like, I don't know, all this other stuff. When they called me and I said, you know what? I said, you said I was gonna work on a press, and then you paid me $2 under what you said you were hiring me on. I was like, I don't want this job, so whatever. And that's the only one. But if you guys have ever, had enough of an employer, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Let me know. Maricopa County. Because, you're not... No employer owns you. A lot of them tend to think that they do, but they don't own you. You don't have to live that way. And that's why I, pushed to be in a position one day. I was like, I'll be my own boss one day, Started a video production company with my buddy, and he actually started it and hired me on, and we tried that for a while, and it was really difficult to do anything with it. But I've never been afraid to take risks. But that tweet had reminded me of that, which is fine. And then after that, I went in. I worked at a place called Rainbow Recreation. Well, it was O'Connor Contracting was the name of the company. It was a private contractor, and it was really neat. The guy that ran that was Brian O'Connor, and he was a really cool dude. Taught me really good values about being a business owner and how to treat employees and things like that. It was really neat to work with them. But we built Rainbow Play Systems. Rainbow Recreation, like I don't even remember the names, Castle 4s and all of that. But there's a guy that they put me with. It was his brother, John, and John was not like Brian at all. So they put me with John for a long time. Actually, they put me with another dude for a long time, and I remember we were just going down he was like a younger dude, had no problem smoking some substances before work, and he's going down the road at like 80 miles an hour with this thing strapped to the back of this old pickup truck. And we're going down the highway, and it says like, "Slow down, my daddy works here." Those signs on the side of the road for road construction. And he's just like one-handed it like this, and he just like right at the sign. I was just like, this. I went to the boss the next day and I go, I can't work with this guy because he's a menace to ride in the truck with, and I don't feel comfortable with it and all that. And they're like, okay, we'll find you somebody else. And they gave me John, and John actually lives on in one of my RP characters. That is Jim Cricket. Now, John was a very kind of this monotone talking kind of dude. Heart of gold, really nice guy, had his moments. Worked hard. He was a firm believer of working like 14 to 16 hours a day. And whenever I was on jobs with him, we would do that. But he used to always say, "or whatever." So after everything, he'd be like, "or whatever." So when he's teaching you something, it was hard to really figure it out, because he'd be like, "Oh, you just take that leg and you put it right here and you get that or whatever." And he's like, "Just get that board or whatever." It's just like, holy moly. So he lives on in my character, Jim Cricket. Because Jim Cricket will talk like this or whatever, like something like that or something. And John was kind of like that. But then Brian was like, okay, you've been with my brother long enough. So you wanted to do Goal Setter was the name of the company that had those really expensive basketball hoops. So we would go out with the Bobcat, drill the hole, all that, put the concrete in there, and put the hoops in there, or at least the pole for the hoops. And I got to working with him, and he was always great. He'd take you out to lunch, and he was always like, money, it's just money, not a big deal. You can always replace it. You always find some way in the world to do that. And he was actually the first one that kind of opened my eyes to the idea and the thought process behind the law of attraction. And really, really cool. They got to work with him. But very unique jobs. I've worked all sorts of different jobs. The only job I never worked I did work fast food, I would call it, but it was Mr. Good Sense, the sandwich shop. I never worked like Taco Bell, no drive-through, nothing like that. I was a delivery driver, classic, worked up to management, like within 4 weeks of working at Mr. Good Sense. That didn't take any time at all if you're just kind of semi-competent. And that was a neat family that ran that. Really nice, wholesome family, and I've always just found these really cool people to work with. And then later down the road, went and worked at the airport for way too long. And then I worked my way all the way up to be like the person just ran the office during the day. And that was such a cushy job. I started at noon and I got out of there at 8 p.m. Like how perfect is that when you're 21, 22? Because every Friday I'd be out there at 8 p.m. and I could go hang out with my friends. Like that was so cool. So that was a cushy job up in that position. And then I was loading trucks for the Kitty Hawk air cargo operation, which is funny. You knew the company was going downhill because they were loading air cargo onto an overnight truck run. And they were doing that pretty much illegally, I would assume. And charging people for air freight when it was getting loaded on a truck. So, unique jobs for sure, I must say. But that job, whenever that company closed up, they're like, we got bought out by this other company, and they were like, we can hire you back on the ramp at $8 an hour. And I was like, dude, there's just no way I'm gonna do that. Like, or you can take unemployment. I was like, all right, I'll do that and start over. I had just gotten like a new car and everything, and that's when my car had gotten repossessed because I was working at a... Love that Jake brake. I was working at a golf course. Oh, big truck. I need to get on the highway. I was working at a golf course, and that was just not enough money. It was banquet and doing bartending, and then... Okay. I don't know what happened there. Maybe that car hit me or something. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. We're chatting. We just chatting, you know? Just chatting. Okay. Careful, buddy. And that was sad times. I remember I was in the shower getting ready for work, and I came out, get in the car to go to work, and my car wasn't there. That's like the worst feeling ever. It's like, I wasn't hiding the car either. Like, I wasn't like one of those people that were just hiding it. If they would have knocked on the door, it's like, hey, we get the keys. I'm like, all right, yeah, I mean, you win. I can't afford this car anymore. I got laid off of that job, and it's been tough. I love that car. It was a 2001 Honda Accord. 2-door. I feel like I've talked about some of these things before in the past, but it's been a long time, so just seeing that employer thing reminds me of all those other jobs. So whenever I, am in the position I am now to make content on YouTube and stream, it's like I'm so humbled by it because I've worked so many different jobs, man, and terrible jobs, all sorts of different conditions. Working at the printing press was the not that Global Automotive or whatever it was called, but at the St. Louis, it was downtown St. Louis, Universal Paper Company. And we made magazines, made all sorts of different things. Books, Scholastic was one of the biggest ones we would do. That was a terrible job too, though, man. That was. Working those printing machines overnight, that is not for me. And then I was like just, young, and I was single, and I was like, you know what? I'll just take any hours they give me. And I was working like 80 hours a week, working overtime. It was so hot. They had no AC in those things, and you had these huge long things. So it would be like 2 pieces of plywood, and then between it, okay, let's talk about globe. And between those, I'm gonna get in the left lane, would be all the paper material that you'd use. Hence all the material we have right here on the back of this truck right now that we're taking to Nogales. And, okay, we'll keep left. By the way, the JBX Graphics Mod, I have something in here for the time. So the time is a lot slower. I love that. You don't seem like you're just rushing through the day and getting nighttime immediately. But yeah, it'll be 2 pieces of like plywood squares, and then in between would be all the paper material. And then you would have to load that up into the machine, and it would feed it into it after breaking the straps on them. But you had these machines that would like kind of hang from the ceiling, and you come down, they clamped, and you operated them. So because they were so heavy, you could do that to help, save your back. You'd have to wear a back brace and pick those up and throw them onto the thing over and over again. But I worked up my way through the different things, and then they put me on the glue line. That was the worst. The glue line was terrible. It sounds like that dip machine. Instead, it's the glue binding for, paperback books.
Keep right after 50
Okay, I think this is a double turn lane, it looks like. Yep. And I'm right.
Turn right.
Stay in this lane right here. You got it. 55 through here? All right. Okay, we're okay. We had plenty of turn there for the speed. And the glue line was interesting. A lot of those people that worked there, they didn't like me because I wasn't like gung-ho for the union and things like that. And I think I was part of the union for like 2 weeks, and then and I was not in the union anymore because the company actually looked at my resume and they go, "Oh, hey, we have an opening in the shipping and logistics department. You want to go work back?" I was like, "Yes." They're like, "It's a cubicle job." I was like, "Yes, yes, I will. Thank you." They're like, "Why didn't you say anything?" I'm like, I did in the interview. I said, this is my skill set. What they choose to do with that is on them, not me. But I'm also not like, I'm too good to go work in the factory. So I paid my dues in the factory, and then by the time I got back there, I think I earned it, And I got really good at that job to the point where I was just getting all my work done within like a couple hours when we get there, which was really nice because they were like banker hours. You just had to log 8 hours. It didn't matter when. I could come in at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., whenever I wanted, and then I'd stay later if, whatever. And they also gave me an hour lunch, which was really nice too. I like that. But I left that job. I had a cushy job, and then I wasn't paid that much, honestly. Working in a cubicle, easy job. And I quit that job to go do the production company. And everybody there was like, I don't know why you would do that in this climate. It was in 2012. Like, I don't know why you would, there ain't no jobs out there. Why would you leave this job? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, because I'm done with it. I'm a capable person. I can get another job. And we started our company, Steamline Productions. And what's cool is that all of the video editing I learned was in that working on weddings and music videos and things like that. I learned how to use Adobe Premiere. And so whenever I moved over to just, I just started making YouTube videos for fun before I met Bugs and all of them. I was just making YouTube videos for fun. I used my editing skills that I had learned on video game content that I was recording. That was, before, like, right whenever it was starting to just slowly get popular. And it all worked out in the end, Those skills transferred over, which is really, really cool. So it just goes to show, you think that you're going in one direction, you go a different one. Like I was, in 2012, taking money that I was making at the airport, all the money I made, and I was throwing it into flight training. I had a buddy that flew Challengers for a company, and he was all down for, he went flying with me once. He was like, "Why don't you do this like professionally?" And I was like, "I would like to." I was like, "Let's do it." I was like, "All right." And then I was gonna do my IFR with him, and then I was going to go to ATP and do a fast track because I already had done my private license in 2007. So I was like, okay, not a big deal. I can do that. It's on low. We don't need these jakes all the way up here, do we? No. There we go. Making a right turn out of here. Weird thing about the 389 is you don't see the blinker lights. They're below that base of the wheel. And I thought I was gonna go fly airplanes professionally. That's what I wanted to do. Be a commercial pilot, but everything changed. I became a YouTuber instead and never looked back. So that's the reason why I don't fly anymore. And I don't really have a reason to spend money on it currently. It's expensive to fly. It's not cheap. Okay, let's roll our windows all the way down here. Love the sound of this thing. Made it down here. See, with this realistic time, it would have already been like pure night by the time we got down here, but we got to really showcase the JBX Graphics Mod today. And I got to talk your ear off about jobs.
After 100 yards, turn right.
But a lot of people ask me all the time why I don't fly and all that stuff, but that's the reason why. I just don't really have a real reason to be spending money on it. I don't use it for travel or anything like that. Maybe one day I'll get back into general aviation and finish my IFR up.
destination.
All right. Around that corner we go. We have made it here, and we're dropping... Ooh, that spot. It's not too bad. This isn't too bad of a spot. Cross over there. All the way to the left. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do... Well, I'm gonna try to sling this thing in here the best I can. Kind of teardrop it. Get up next to these, turn it hard. Gotta turn it hard. And then we'll get it right in there, hopefully. Let's see how this works out for us. I'm gonna try not to crack the fairings in the process, right? Because where that's located, you gotta kind of blind back this one in. There's just not enough room on that one. Now, when you do over here, you can do a a classic alley dock or something back like that. We can see the spot back there through that little window. That kind of helps us gauge where we're at here with the trailer. Well, the trailer is not turning very hard, so let's go ahead and pull up a little bit further. We might have to get out and look a couple times here, but it's okay. Used to that. I'm gonna float it back like right here. We'll just let the trailer go back naturally. We should see it turning into that spot. There's the line there. There it is. It's going where we want it to. All right, make sure we don't hit that UPS trailer. Let's get out and look. We're looking good. We got the trailers over here, right here, on this line. Just keep that trajectory right there, and we're gonna be looking fantastic. You ever get stuck on a word? I've been getting stuck on a word lately, and that word is fantastic. I'm tired of saying it. I don't know, I notice it in editing, it drives me crazy. I'm like, man, why do I keep saying that? You know? All right, I think we're gonna be okay here. We might have nailed this back. Maybe not, though. Might be a little too to the left. Maybe too far left. Not by much. We're pretty close. Okay, we can fix this. Yeah, we're really far to the right here. So I'm gonna do the old fix by going like this, all the way to the left. Pull the trailer to the left. Or to the right. Like that. Gonna snake it out. And then to the left again. Up next to this wall without hitting it. But yeah, I can't stop saying that word lately. It's starting to drive me crazy, man. Oh, we screwed that up. Well, we're gonna have to get this all the way to the side, and then we'll have to do it again. Maybe we'll be able to finagle our way in there. It's gonna be all jacked up, regardless. Actually, right there, I might be able to just turn this thing right on into its spot, right there, and then straighten the tractor up with it. It's green. A little bit to the left here. We'll be in it this time. That works for me. Longer video than usual, but for those of you that like the ATS series, I'm sure you won't be upset with that by any means. Straight on back from here. There we go. Yeah, see, if we would have been one more spot over to the right, we could have did the classic alley dock, but not today. I wonder if we can do I don't think you can bump the dock here. It's been a while since I've done this particular drop. Nope, you can't. All right, cool. We'll go back up into the green. Feel that. That thing's annoying, right? All right, sweet. We did it. There we have it. Let's go ahead and unload and see what we got here. We got job completed. Excellent. 70 miles, 2 hours, 49 minutes, 12.8 gallons of fuel consumed. There we go. Fantastic. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of American Truck Simulator. Thanks for tagging along, having a listen. Let me know what you thought of the JBX Graphics Mod. I like it. It's staying for sure. And I am going to really quick just show you my mod load order. Not long at all. We're just going to show it really fast. And here we are. You can see all of the JBX Graphics mods at the very top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 10. All of this stuff here. Realistic mirror FOV. And then all of this stuff going on down the line. I'm just going to scroll through it slow. You can pause it, see where everything is. Icons doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. We'll have to wait for them to get an update. This is everything I use right here. And you can pause the video where you need to, and you can build it out the way you want to. But those are all those different sounds and all that stuff. I'm not going to talk about it in detail. I've done it in previous videos. So if you go back to the previous videos, I've gone into depth more about all of these different mods and where they're at and located and why they're located where they are. But this is everything you see here that I'm using today in my sim currently. A lot of payware stuff as well. But you'll be able to pause it and look. Like all this stuff's all payware, trailers, stuff from Bart. And you'll see what I'm talking about. SISL's trailer pack, that's a great one. Real Corner Shop, you know, Gas Stations Revival Project, Real Companies. That's off of the WordPress, the Grimes WordPress. All the skins. So you keep everything together in a certain load order here. All the trucks, all the bottom. There you go. Ranks F350. Times 379. Keys to the... This is all the Ruta stuff down there. And some other trucks as well. But all of this stuff, I'm running the Reforma. I don't think this is working anymore, the Project Mid-Atlantic and all this. I think it's and Coast to Coast. I think this stuff might be breaking my map a little bit, so I might change those out here shortly. But those are the ones that I'm using there, and I keep all the map mods there at the bottom. But JBX Graphics all the very top, and I think it worked out pretty well. Anywho, that'll do it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.